The fact that you jumped out of a car not once, but twice.
Like I just started making like sleep apnea noises a little bit.
Yes, so what happened was I'm not a huge drinker.
All right. Dave Stewart, welcome to the Dammit Danii podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I am so excited to have you here. And I just want to say to all my future guests, Dave came bearing gifts. I have a very nice chipped ham shirt, which please tell me the story behind this again.
So basically I just thought it was funny. Like a couple years ago, about 5 years ago, I was just kind of like doodling.
Yeah.
And thinking about like Pittsburgh things that are funny to go along with like my show. Oh. And it just kind of like happened that way where I was like chipped ham. And I wrote do the little like lightning bolts.
It is.
And but so we don't use the other M word that has to do with the band. We always call it the chipped ham metal tea.
Chipped ham. Got it. Got it.
Because that other M word are quite litigious.
Right, they are. So we don't do that. So I love this. This is great. I love a good band tea. So I'm very excited about it.
Absolutely.
And coffee, my lifeline. Tell me about the coffee.
The coffee is our espresso blend from Espresso Mono, where I work on Butler Street in Lawrenceville.
Go visit him, guys. This is awesome. I'm going to open it and smell it. Like after this, I'm very excited. I love the smell of coffee.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, it's my favorite thing.
For sure.
Starbucks. I mean, I don't want to, but I just love the smell of like Barnes and Noble. Like when you walk in, like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Even when I don't want coffee, I'm like, I do though. Like I do want coffee.
Although I did get, I went to the casino a couple of months ago and I was like, while I'm here, I'll get a coffee and grabbed just a large coffee. And the dude handed to me, first I looked bummed out to be there. So it was a very sad kind of like a handoff. And it was so hot. It was like lava. It was so hot. I had to wait like a half hour for I could drink it at all.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like a hot milk water.
Ooh. And it's so like awkward when you have a hot drink and you're like, I can't drink this yet. Like I have to, there's a waiting time here and I have to wait for it.
And then here's the deal. Hot coffee. Fantastic, right? It's great. I drink hot coffee all year long. All right. I'm that psychopath, right?
Same.
August, I don't care. Hot coffee in the morning, right?
Yep.
Cold brew, I love it. Iced latte, fantastic, right? Few things are more disgusting than when your hot coffee becomes room temperature.
Oh yeah. You're speaking my language.
That's a special icky.
It is. It's a special icky.
It's a special icky.
So gross.
Oh, it really is.
Like you just got to do it. Like the first coffee of the day for me is like a shot. I'm like, let's do this. Let's go.
My mom was always like she's now retired, but my mom was always like a corporate sales lady for many, many years. And she would pour a big cup of coffee in the morning and she would like drink it all day. So the coffee she was drinking at like 1 was a 7:30 coffee.
Was it the same pot of coffee?
Yeah, the same cup of coffee.
Oh.
She would just sip it like all day.
Wait, cup of coffee?
Yeah. She'd pour like a huge thermos like in the morning and then she would just sip it all day. And I'm like, so you're telling me that like on the drive home from work, you're sipping 7:30 coffee and
Just a little sip.
Like mom, I love you forever, but that's really icky that you do that.
Right.
But I do love you, Kimberly.
Right. Yeah. Kimberly, I'm not judging you, but I kind of am judging you. Like, ugh. My mom used to like just make pots of coffee, like 2 pots a day, going all day long. Yeah. So I'm just used to drinking it all day long.
Oh yeah. We are like a coffee drinking family. We all drink coffee. And so every fan function we have.
Love it.
Like there's the pot is going. Mm-hmm. We'll have like a picnic, like a barbecue at a park. My mom's always like, make sure the park has power. So my mom will like I'm dead serious, she'll bring a coffee pot. My mom will set up a whole coffee bar like in the pavilion. So she'll have like coffee pot and like all the like creamers and half and like sugars and Splenda. You have different options and like thermal cups and everything.
Did she just roll like a coffee cart out of her car just ready to go?
She has like this big wicker picnic basket that like closes like this.
Stop.
And then that's like, my mom is this tiny, adorable lady. So I was laughing that like I came out of this woman, like people see her.
You are tall.
Yeah, like I'm big. I'm 6 foot and 285. My mom is 5'4" and maybe 140. So like, yeah, It's like that.
And she has a wicker basket just full of coffee goods.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, Kimberly, you won my love back. That's it. All right, so now that we've talked all the coffee things,
Sure,
literally all the coffee things.
All the coffee things.
Not only are you a barista, you DJ too.
Yeah, so I've been I always say that like I'm like one of those people that I'm a jack of many trades. I'm a master of none. I kind of laugh because like I feel like I do a lot of things. I'm not really good at any of them, but I'm like pretty good at some of them.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, I was the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium's wedding coordinator for 5 years. Okay.
That is so awesome.
So, I was in charge of like group sales, like, for groups that, to come to the zoo, but also I did rentals for the different facilities and ran the weddings and the different events as well.
Okay.
So while I was just doing that, I became friends with several DJs that came in all the time. And then kind of chopping it up, I realized that I was in the wrong business and they were just making a lot more than I was.
Right.
And, hey, shout out to the zoo, but that's just keeping it 100, as the kids say. It's keeping it real.
Right.
And so I was like, I got to learn how to do this. And, I've always loved music. I played in bands for a long time too. So like, I love music and I always loved, all kinds of music and stuff. And whenever I go, like be in high school, college, and there was a DJ at an event, I want to hang out near him and see what he was doing.
All right.
So my friend Greg Schaefer is a Pittsburgh DJ, awesome guy. I was like, hey man, I want to DJ. And he was like, okay, like, you can buy like this stuff. It's like an easy way to get started. Mm-hmm. Get the software and this is how you get started. Get some good headphones and there we go. So I have like tunnel vision. That's how I've always been. So I was like, okay, I will now be a DJ. And I just zoomed in on that and just spent like a year just working on it. And then I would, do little things for free. So I would like, so for example, before I used to referee roller derby, so I would DJ the roller derby banquet for free.
So you did roller derby too?
Well, I refereed, so I didn't
play.
play.
You refereed. Okay.
Yeah. These old knees can do play roller derby, but I used to skate and referee roller derby games. I did that for 5 years actually. Everything's in 5-year increments for me. I'm very
gotcha. So every 5 years, you like a chameleon. You just change into something else.
I literally crawl out of my skin and become a new thing. So after I'm done being a failed comedian, I'm gonna rip through this skin and I'm gonna play High-Lie in the Cayman Islands.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
High-Lie is the most bananas game.
Okay, elaborate, please.
I don't know how they score points or how you win the game. But it's bananas. So High-Lie, High-Lie is this game you play in this giant court, okay?
Okay.
And you wear like a white...
Like a basketball court, tennis court, like what are we... Or just a huge area?
Think of like a racquetball court
times
100. It's enormous, okay?
Got it.
And you wear this thing on your hand, like this giant, like curved... sickle thingy on your hand. It's plastic or something.
Okay.
Or wood or bamboo or something. And you and this other player take turns throwing this really hard ball against this wall that's like 50 yards away and you catch it and stuff.
Okay.
Like people I think have died playing High-Lie because the ball moves so fast.
This sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, do you make your claw and then like you're throwing like a very heavy ball and like hoping you catch it?
It's not heavy. It's like the size of like a lime, but it's like dense and bouncy. It's like a really hard rubber ball.
Oh, okay.
It's a bananas game. I implore anyone listening to this podcast or watching at home, hello, go look up High-Lie, Jai. High-Lie.
I'm like taking notes.
Yeah.
Jai.
And then however way you spell High-Lie.
Google will help me. I'll figure it out.
I spent $60,000 on an English degree. I can't spell High-Lie. I also say Wednesday.
A what?
Wednesday. To spell Wednesday, I say Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
$60,000 English degree. Wednesday.
Perfect.
I also say February to make sure I include the other R.
Okay, I love that. Really pronunciating the words. Very, very cool.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like the degree, top notch, spot on.
I rock.
I rock.
I got a rock solid education at Slip Rock University.
Oh, I've heard some stories about Slippery Rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you one.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we have to wait
Yeah.
for that. We have to wait for that.
But yeah, I've always joked that I remember my buddy Cameron and I. This is years ago, and we were at his dad's house, and the ad came on for Clarion University. Soar with the Eagles, Clarion University, and I was kind of like, that's a silly commercial, and I was like, I went to Slippery University, and his dad goes, well, did you ever notice, boys, you never see ads for like good schools, and I was like, huh? He was like, yeah, did you ever see an ad for CMU? No, you know why? Because everyone knows it's a good school, but you know what you see on TV? Soar with the Eagles, Clarion University, and that was pretty.
All right.
I thought it was pretty funny.
That is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah. Hey, first of all, I no shade towards Clarion or IUP or Edinburgh.
Right. No controversy here.
I went to the Rock and I had a good time. It was 4 years of a pretty good time.
Hey, you pay for the good time, right? I mean, I don't know.
Absolutely.
I didn't go to school, so I just worked. So, like, I have nothing to compare to, but I partied. So, like, I feel like I got the party experience. I just didn't get the education part of it. So
That's amazing.
it's fine. I read some books. It's cool. It's all good. It's working out. Okay, so back to, I want to revisit the zoo thing.
Sure.
So, like, were you organizing, like, weddings, like, in front of lions? Like, how is this working?
Oh, so the Pittsburgh Zoo had 3 facilities they use for weddings.
Okay.
The aquarium, which is world famous. The Water's Edge, which has the polar bear tunnel, polar bears and sea otters, and I think now they have, I think it's elephant seal. I think in the last tank, I believe.
Okay.
And then the garden tent, which is up seasonally, it's up from like end of April to October. So yeah, I mean, just any other venue. You come meet with me. I take you on a tour, and then you choose what venue you'd like. You want to book with the zoo, and then we go from there. The best part was, I thought, honestly, of if you had your wedding at the zoo, was that you get to come do photos.
Okay.
Like after your wedding, because you didn't do ceremonies there. But you can come before the guests get there and do photos like around the zoo. Like I take you around to do that.
That's
so
cool.
like, yeah. So given the time of year, I had some couples that got to have a nice photo in front of like lions, or in front of like one time this couple got to have the polar bear in the tunnel. The polar bear jumped in the water, so all the photos are them with like the polar bear behind them. So that was really cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So now back to DJing. So then once you did you were tunnel vision, you mastered the DJing.
Yeah.
So did you just hit the ground running? What?
I did not master anything. I just want to make that very clear.
Okay.
But I am a competent DJ.
Okay. All right.
Competent.
Okay.
But yeah, I just kind of worked at it, and then so now I think about 5 or 6 years. I don't do a ton of events because I've always kept a full-time job, obviously.
Yeah.
But I probably do between 10 and 20 weddings and events a year. Just on the side, it's fun to do.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. So yeah, it's a good time.
So what's the craziest thing that's happened at a wedding for you?
At a wedding?
Yes. Spill the tea. I need to know.
Well, actually, so at the zoo, I have 2 things that happened that were amazing.
Awesome. Let's do it.
One was that the bride and her mother-in-law didn't get along.
Okay.
So
classic.
Again, at the time, the zoo didn't allow ceremonies, mostly for a time constraint type of thing, And so we're set up for the wedding, for the reception, and everything. We're looking around, and one of my coworkers that works for catering goes, "Hey, we have a problem." I go, "What?" She goes, "The bride and her mother-in-law don't get along. So the bride has not set up aside a seat for her mother-in-law at the reception. So there's she doesn't have a name tag thingy. There's no seat for her in the plan." Because this bride hated her mother-in-law so much that she did not put a seat for her at the wedding.
Damn.
So we had to find. We had I think a staff member who luckily was a calligrapher or something. That she was some kind of artist that we kind of finagled a nice looking seat table marker a place set name tag.
Yeah, place setting thing. Whatever.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah. Potato, tomato.
Yeah, the thing.
And we're kind of able to get her a seat. No muss, no fuss. Okay.
Just nonchalantly,
Boom. We got it.
Right.
Okay. We got it.
Solving the problem.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I don't think really a lot of people that I worked with are still at the zoo to be honest with you. But I just want to shout out to Jenna and Nicole and Justin and my boy Teddy and the guys that really saved my butt. Mr. Kelvin saved my butt at the zoo a million times. Straight up.
Made
Awesome
miracles
people.
happen.
Absolutely. Okay.
Perfect. I like can't wait to hear this.
The other thing was, so we had this groom and his family, and they were all from New York, and they let me know they were from New York a million times.
So you're like, where are you from? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, New York. Like, oh, hey, sir, how's that cheese? We like cheese, son. We're from New York. All right.
Like,
Yeah,
okay.
it was like that. New Yorkers love cheese. So the problem, especially whenever usually Catholic weddings are like early in the day. You know what I mean? Well, at the zoo, the earliest you can start at the aquarium is like 6 p.m.
Okay.
So these folks would have their weddings, like the big Catholic mass ceremonies at 11:30.
Oh.
And they've had 6 hours to drink their faces off. So once I get them, they're sloppy. They're sloppy, okay? And I remember this groom, when he got to the wedding,
Yeah.
he wasn't making words.
Oh, good.
And he has 4 hours to go. And he is already...
You're like, sir, I need you to pull it together.
Straight up.
For 4 hours.
Straight up. Hot mess, okay? And I remember he kept... Everything was about, being from New York, the whole time. Then his brother was there, and his brother had, recently gone through a divorce. So he was going hard, all right?
Oh, God.
So I just... when you see something happen, and you're like, this is just bad news bears.
Yeah,
It's like about an hour left in the wedding. Everyone's having fun. DJ is doing a great job. Okay. The drinks are pouring. Food's being eaten.
Things are happening.
Cake's being sliced. All right. And I watch the brother, who's like a big guy, like big like me, but with a big bushy beard and gel in his hair, where I am bereft of hair. I see him run to the restroom. And I'm like, oh. So he goes in there, and I guess I was kind of maybe 40 feet away. So my boy Justin, who I mentioned earlier, he kind of peeks his head there fast, and he looks at me and goes like,
oh.
So I go over there, and I look in there, and this man has painted our restroom with 9 hours of Jack and Cokes. And cheese and fruit spread. Okay. I think actually our boy Teddy that worked with us described it as in Ghostbusters 2 when they hosed down the guys with the positively charged slime. It was like that. So there was a code at the zoo.
Okay.
I apologize. There was a code at the zoo. We had to call grounds, which are the grounds is janitorial staff and clean up and whatnot. And this dude Tyler was on duty that night, and just having to go 44 Dave saying for Tyler, go ahead Dave. Hey Tyler, I have a biohazard in the men's restroom in the aquarium, and just hearing him do a nice long I'll be right there. And he was so bummed out, and so was I. And
nobody was happy.
Nobody was happy.
Nobody was amused. Nobody was happy. It was very unfortunate.
Also, one thing that I thought was so funny, I loved it at the zoo, was we had a big fat Greek wedding. Okay,
Like a legit, the movie.
Like a big fat Greek wedding.
Okay,
and the bride and groom were both Greek families, and Hope is gentleman still working. He was a little older at the time, but the DJ's name, and I'll never forget the rest of my life. His name was I want to say his name was Emmanuel Kanakis.
Wow, what a name. Okay.
And he was so nice, and he asked me for 2 tables. He needed 2 8-foot tables because he brought crates of Greek music CDs. Crates, hundreds of them.
There's
There's
would you think that there'd be hundreds and hundreds of?
Hey, you know what? I think we really shouldn't disregard the drawing power of Greek music in America today.
I guess not.
Okay?
I need to do some research.
And he was so nice. And his daughter was his assistant. Because, again, he was a little older. And she was like, I have told my dad so many times Daddy, I can put these on computer for you. No, this is fine. I like this. And so he had his like 2 CDJs to play music on. Then his backup, that was like just in case something goes wrong.
Yeah.
Homie had a Discman. He had a straight up Discman, like RCA'd into like his mixer so that he could play music if need be through a Discman.
In case of emergency.
He
was ready to go. So what if someone was like, yo, can you just like play some Bruno Mars? Like, that'd be great. And he's going to be like, no, I don't have it on CD. Sorry.
So I grew up with a single mom, and just saying that like when you grow up with a single mom, you watch so many like chick flicks, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
I love so many historically chick flick movies, and I own my own copy of my Big Fat Greek Wedding, by the way.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And
I remember I made a video a couple of years ago, and it was when I first started on TikTok, and it was my Big Fat Greek Wedding in less than a minute. So I did a little synopsis and did voices and stuff, and Nia Vardalos commented on it and was like, you're hilarious. And I was like, I've made it.
You've made it.
I've made it. Yep. I'm like Pitbull because I'm Mr. Worldwide.
You are.
It was amazing. It was so great.
That is so fucking
awesome. It was so great.
My God.
Ooh, I can curse on this? Great.
Of course you can.
Poop. All right.
My gosh. We're going to have to cut that out. That's just not going to fly.
Yeah, sometimes like I'll be alone. I will be alone and I'll be like, give me a word. Give me any word. And I'll show you how the root of that word is reek. I'm alone in my car. Just a big brown man in a Kia Sorento doing Greek voice.
Just making the TikToks.
It feels so good.
Oh my gosh. We're going to take a quick break.
Cool.
When we come back, I want to talk TikToks. I want to talk comedy. I want to talk about your show.
Yes.
That you have at Arcade.
Absolutely.
And then we have a Dammit moment that you need to share.
100%.
We'll be right back.
Yes, God.
All right. Let's talk about these TikToks.
Okay.
I watched about 10 of them. They're awesome.
Oh.
I love like your catchphrase, behold.
Oh, yeah.
You need to put that on a t-shirt. That's what you need to do next.
So actually, my birthday was in August, and my awesome cousin Leon made me, he had an artist make it for me. He made me like sticker, like a design. So I have it, like it's actually my background photo on Facebook, but I'm actually gonna have stickers made of that and probably shirts at some point too.
Yes,
and
you have to.
And it's like a cartoon of me eating a turkey leg, and it says "Behold" on my shirt and the sticker.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, but like that honestly just kind of like happened like. So TikTok took me a while to kind of figure out what I was doing with it.
Yeah.
I think when I first started, I tried doing like, because I thought you could just lip sync to music.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like 4 weird videos of me lip syncing to some music or something like.
So if you dig down deep enough.
Yeah. I just get like, so something I've been trying to actually explore in like my stand up is like being uncomfortable.
Okay.
So like a lot of comedians, I take medication for anxiety, holla, and but I think that the things that make me anxious and uncomfortable are also kind of interesting. So like. The deeper you go, they get more and more embarrassing. Where I'm like, I don't want to see that ever again. And then for a while, I was doing like fact videos for a while, like early on, like fact videos. I was always a big fan of like Matthew Santoro on YouTube, so I would do like 10 facts you didn't know or something, and then it was kind of like doing like little just funny skits. You know what I mean? Like I'd play 2 characters talking to one another, and then. A few months ago when I learned just how to do the green screen, because I'm 37. I don't know how stuff works. So I was like, okay, green screen. Then you could put like photos behind the green screen. I was like, oh, this is hysterical. So now I can just like have a thing behind me and make jokes about it, which is now kind of what I do, So I find
possibilities.
Yeah. So I find things on Reddit. I'll use like my own photos of me or from my from my past. Like some will show up in my memories on Facebook. I'm like, oh, well, this is funny. So like,
we love those.
Yeah.
Like those are so great. Like thank you, Facebook.
Yeah. So funny. And then there's a lot of times it's just like I'll do like things about funny looking animals because I love animal facts, or like today actually I did a video about a prototype moon walking suit that was made in the early 60s, and it looks ridiculous. It looks like a guy wearing like a popcorn maker as a suit.
Oh, wow.
And
that sounds nice.
And someone was like, that's going to be for walking on the moon, is this dumbass looking suit.
Yeah. Like, how dumb can we make this person look? Or like, how extravagant and crazy can we make this?
I feel like whoever designed it, and they were like, hey guys, this is awesome. Look at this. And the guys were like, sure, bud, we'll make that for you. Don't worry. You got
okay.
It. Sure thing, Craig. Like that. I feel the same way about the cookie, the Snickerdoodle. I feel that.
Okay.
I feel that someone was like, this cookie is pretty good. I'm going to call it the Snicker. And someone was like, that could be sillier. And it's like Snickerdoodle. Boom, I love it.
And then the Snickerdoodle was born.
Yeah.
Did you do a video about that?
Not
the history
yet.
of the Snickerdoodle?
No, but there's never been, I think, a sillier named cookie ever than Snickerdoodle.
There's really not, because I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about fudge stripes other than being delicious.
Or like a chocolate chip cookie,
Yeah.
like we know.
Yeah.
Like a sugar cookie.
Like it's impossible to sound tough or menacing when saying Snickerdoodle. You can't go into a bakery and be like, hey, I want those cookies. Oh, which one, sir? Snickerdoodles. Like absolutely no one's gonna be like, this guy means business. They're gonna be, this guy wants a cookie, it's fine.
Right, like he has a kind soul. He wants a Snickerdoodle.
Yeah.
Okay, we got you. Yeah, definitely. You can't be tough and ask for a Snickerdoodle.
What do you think is your favorite cookie at like a Pittsburgh cookie table?
Oh man.
Okay. Are you savvy? You know about the cookie table?
So I do know of the cookie table.
Okay.
So I'm not from Pittsburgh.
Oh, where are you from?
From Altoona. So like kind of
Okay.
close. So like kind of similarities. So I've seen cookie tables at weddings.
Sure.
I don't know if they're as extravagant as they are here.
Oh, yeah.
So like they're like mini cookie tables. Like cupcakes are like a huge thing. So like I've seen a lot of cupcakes and like a few cookies.
Sure.
So like I've seen pictures of
Yeah.
these cookie tables.
Yeah.
And they're just insane.
I think there's a few cookies that are kind of the go-tos in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think are like the ones you gotta have.
Okay.
So chocolate chip, no duh.
Obviously,
All right?
duh.
And then usually like some thumbprints.
Okay.
Okay. With either the Hershey Kiss inside or the little Reese cup in the cookie.
Ooh, yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's a good one. I love a good Buckeye. Not a cookie necessarily, but delicious.
Is the Buckeye the one with like the chocolate and peanut butter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
All right.
That's a Buckeye. That's pretty good.
Okay.
Then there's also like the Pizzelle. Now, you know what a Pizzelle is?
I hate them.
But now, have you only had the ones that are like anise flavor, like the licorice flavor?
I just remember biting into one and I'm like, no.
Because tell you what, an almond or a vanilla Pizzelle is fantastic.
Okay, so I'll revisit. I will revisit.
Very good. I also like a lady finger or a lady lock are very good. And
okay.
then yeah, so like when I DJ weddings, I'm dead serious. I include in my service agreement that they sign that part of my payment is I get 2 to-go boxes of cookies. I get 2 containers to go.
I love that. You just like slide it into the contract.
Oh no, I'm.
When you're like, listen.
Yeah, it's like, listen. This Article 4, Section A9 means that you have to give me cookies to go home with.
I think that's very fair. You're like, listen, you can throw up everywhere. Don't care. I have to have 2 boxes of cookies when I leave this establishment.
Absolutely.
I think that that's a great idea.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that.
I could tell that you're a very understanding person and not judgmental. And so, yeah, Dammit Danii podcast, the place where you'll be understood
and accepted. Yes.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about, we've talked about the TikToks. Let's talk about comedy a little bit.
Okay.
How'd you get started in stand-up? Were you DJing and you were just like, I'm just going to do stand-up. This is it.
So
doing both.
I do think that I have like one of like, just, I don't know. My mom always encouraged me to do like whatever I wanted to do my whole life. Just, she was like, you want to do it? You can do it. You have to like really try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is great. Good for her for instilling that in you.
So like, I always say that I had like a comically American like childhood because I did like kind of a little bit of everything growing up. So like I played Little League. I was in elementary school. I played clarinet in the band. Then I started playing guitar in middle school. And so I'm playing guitar for like almost 30 years. And then I played football from 8th grade to 12th grade. I was pretty good at football. I was okay.
I feel like you'd be a pretty decent football player.
Like I was okay. I was an honorable mention for all conference football.
All right, we'll take it. Honorable mention.
Yeah, honorable mention. That means I was like, okay. you know. But I also, my family is just very funny. Everyone's funny. So I would say that, like, if you came to the family function, I'm like the least funny person. Everyone's really funny, okay? And in like middle school, my mom gave me a tape of Eddie Murphy's Delirious. Like the cassette.
Classic.
Which I still own it. I've had it since I was 10 years old. And it doesn't play because it's broken. I played it till it broke, okay? And so I've always enjoyed comedy. And then after college, I kind of didn't know what I was doing. I was still living at home. I'm from Natrona Heights, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Which is north of the city, about half an hour.
Okay.
If you remember the year 1998,
I do.
you can go visit. It's in my hometown. It's just hanging out there.
Cool.
But it's a good town. Just saying, it's maybe a little behind.
Is it an honorable mention?
It's an honorable mention town.
Okay.
I was there today. It was awesome. I went to the Goodwill there, and the woman at the register had the same face as a wee man from Jackass. And I can never stop thinking about it now.
Listen, I love a thrift store.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thrills, love it.
Absolutely.
I haven't been in so long. I feel like when I go, I'm just going to unleash and spend like $100. Like it just has to happen.
Which basically means that you will buy infinity things at the Goodwill.
Right, like carts.
For sure.
Yes.
So I just always it sounds silly, but just always wanted to just try. I always did. So this was back in the days of MySpace.
Ooh.
This is back in the days of MySpace. So this is like 2008 or 9.
I remember.
And
yeah.
I reached out to I searched like Pittsburgh comedians or something. And I reached out to Mo Mozich, who I haven't seen in many, many years. But Mo Mozich hosted LOL Mondays open mic at the Shadow Lounge.
The Shadow Lounge.
The Shadow Lounge.
Wow.
So the first time I did stand-up comedy was at the Shadow Lounge in East Liberty. And I remember the first joke I got a chuckle at. I have like a really weird good memory. Ask my wife. I remember like we went on vacation 5 years ago or something. This is how I am. So
damn.
The joke was I met a guy from Jamaica. I told him I'd been in Jamaica, but he didn't believe me. So to prove it, I braided his hair and I stabbed him. So that's the joke.
Love it.
Yeah. So,
yep.
And this lady in the front kind of went like, and that was it. And I was like, I did it.
You did it.
I made a stranger laugh with the joke. And I went hard for like 2 years. 2 years. I went just like almost every day was an open mic. I had shows almost every weekend. I started hosting a bi-weekly show at the Sphinx Hookah Lounge in Oakland on Atwood Street.
Okay.
Again, how old I am. So yeah, that was like my venue. I hosted at the Sphinx. And a lot of people that I started with are still doing comedy today. They're killing it. So when I first started out, it was like Terry Jones and Gab Bonesso and Mo Mozich and kind of like Billy Elmer is a guy who's been for a long, long time. He was kind of like my mentor early in my comedy journey. Have you ever seen The Wedding Singer?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when he loses his mind and he's singing all bad at the he sings Love Stinks
Mm-hmm.
at the wedding? The fat guy that goes Love Stinks, that's Billy Elmer. He's Pittsburgh.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
And
I love that.
so I used to do
shows.
I used to do shows with him like twice a month or so. So I went to 2 years, went hard. All right. And then I mentioned earlier, I played music too. And I kind of still wanted to do that and give that a try. So my friend Lee and I started a band called Talk About It. We were a band for 3 years, put out three records, played a lot of shows. He's still in the band. The band he has now is called Danvers. They're amazing. They're really good. I was in that band for about a year. And then I left because I just kind of wasn't that good. But they're great. So listen to Danvers.
Okay. Check it out, guys.
And then I played in one more band for another year. I played in my friend Josh's band called Life is Short. He is currently doing a thing called Punk Cover Moose and does these amazing pop punk covers.
I love a pop punk cover.
They're so good. His cover of The Power of Love from Hugh Lewis and the News is like he put that out around the same time that He Found Glory put out a cover of the same song, and his is better. I promise. So good.
I need to listen
Yeah.
to it.
He also does an amazing cover of Come On Eileen.
Ooh, that's a classic.
It's a good jam. Hey, I'm a Pittsburgh white DJ. I know that song. It's good.
You
Song's
do.
Great.
You obviously know that song.
Then honestly, like, you know, I was kind of done playing in bands. I knew I was like 33 years old, and I just didn't have the energy or the drive to like still keep playing music.
Yeah.
A lot of people that honestly, I just kind of passed me up skill wise. I kind of like stopped kind of really working on getting better at music, to be honest with you, just sincerely, I'm trying to be honest, you know? So I was like, man, I missed doing stand up. So I go into the Ham Bones open mics in Lawrenceville. And, after a while I was like, yeah, I want to like book a show or something. And, you know, cause I was also like a promoter years ago for like punk shows. So I was like, well, just do same skill set, just, you know, promote shows. So my friend Tyler Bryan, we were friends. I met him when I was in college and he was still in high school. Had a cafe in Garfield called the Artisan Cafe, which I think is still a tattoo parlor, but it was an Artisan Cafe. It's on Penn Avenue. You really can't miss it. But he had a cafe in there. And so I booked a thing called a $2 comedy hour, just a random thing. And I booked, like, I went on Facebook, found some comics to come do the show with me, and people that I'm still friends with now, you know? So I think that show was like Marcus Cox and Ann Casper and I think Dan Ferrer. And we just did an hour-long show. People paid $2, gave everyone a little Skrilla, and then that was it.
That's awesome.
And then I just honestly just saw on YouTube that This Is Not Happening storytelling show. And I was like, I have better stories than this. I have good stories. I love telling stories. And so I was like, I want to have a storytelling show.
Is that how this was born?
And then it just became like, I was like, well, I need a name, and I'm not very creative, I suppose. And it just became Real Pittsburgh Stories. So the first Real Pittsburgh Stories was October 12th, 2017 at Artisan Cafe.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how many years has it been? I can't do
5
math.
years.
5 years.
Yeah. So this November 11th, it's a Friday night, 9:30 p.m. at the Arcade Comedy Theater on Liberty Avenue downtown is the 5th anniversary show of Real Pittsburgh Stories.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Which I'm very excited about.
Everyone, you have to go. I'll link. We will link tickets so people can check out the show for sure. Yes, that's so cool. Congratulations.
The ticket link isn't up yet.
Okay.
I mean, but when it is, obviously it'll be shared and everything. And,
I'll
if
share
you can
it.
share it then. Thank you very much.
Of course. I mean, you brought me goodies. Of
I did
course,
bring
I'm
you
going to
goodies.
share it.
But I think it's going to be, just a great show. You got Maddie Malloy, Jason Clark, who was general manager.
He was on the show.
Yeah, so he's on it. And then Suzanne Lawrence, who's so funny, hysterical. I did a show with her. I hosted like one of the first stand-up shows at the Oasis at the arcade when it was outside. And so she was on that show, and she was just fantastic. Then Andreas O'Rourke, who's super funny.
That's a stacked show.
Yeah. And then I'm also going to have some special appearances as well from trying to get some local Pittsburgh celebs to be on the show. So far I have MV Young from Enjoy Wrestling is going to come and make a little appearance. I don't know what he'll do, but it's going to be amazing.
Very cool.
Very
exciting.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I think I'm legitimately I'm trying to go for like an Andy Kaufman and Carnegie Hall thing. Let's do an amazing band show. Who knows what will happen next? So I think it'll be great. I'm very excited about it.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to build. It's going to be so great.
Yes.
You guys got to check that out.
Yes.
That's so cool. And congratulations. 5 years
Thank you very much.
of the show.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's so cool.
I didn't and going back to kind of talking about like anxiety and stuff, before we do the show, I'm always so nervous. I think people are going to come. People always come, which is so humbling. But I'm always like, no one's coming to my dumbass show. Every time. I'm like, no one's going to come. And people come.
Do you do it every single time?
Every time. Every time I do the show, right before I'm announced, I'm like, nobody makes me do this. I can just go home. Like That's
fair. I mean, yeah.
Like it's just, but I know it's a lot of fun. It's a really great show. I mean, at this point, I mean, people done the show. It's like, Terry Jones, Ann Casper, Stacey Flerim, Cody Cannon of West Virginia has come up and done it. I mean, Shannon Norman, Derek Minto, Amanda Averill, and I've also had Sally Wiggin did the show.
I'm not familiar.
Sally Wiggin is an absolute living legend and a legendary Pittsburgh news anchor who's on the news for many, many, many years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've had some pretty solid guests on.
It's been a good time. I've also had my
sure.
friend TJ Harris, who's a fellow DJ in Pittsburgh. He's amazing. He did the show. He has a book on Amazon that's available called DJ Saved My Wife Tonight. Pick it up. So
We love a good pun. That's fantastic.
I love a pun.
I mean, who doesn't? If you don't, I mean, kind of judging. All right, so we're going to take one last break.
Sure.
And then damn it moment.
Yep.
I'm ready for the damn it moment.
I'm excited about it.
And I feel like it has to do with college, so I'm very excited.
Yes.
This is going to be good.
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
You got it. More way to use the word litigious in a sentence. I feel smart when I say litigious, or like indignant. You feel like you're like, I'm using words. I know how to use them.
Using big words.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what is that? If it's used in a sentence, I can usually figure it out. But when I hear big words, sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm out.
I had a bit years ago when I would talk about people using monosyllabic caveman talk, and I always thought that was awesome. I just felt like I'm telling Dennis Miller smart jokes or something. I don't want to go on too harshly here, but this guy using monosyllabic caveman talk. If I wanted to hear someone talking, one syllable words, I'd go to a Chinese buffet with Abbott and Costello. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Right, it sounds really important and very intellectual, and you're like, oh, okay, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're saying to me. It's damn it moment time.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm ready.
Is there a Dammit Danii song for the Dammit Danii moment?
There's not, but maybe I should talk to Ty about
There
making one.
There needs to be a jingle. You're gonna have a little thing that plays before, what time it is, and you play it, and it boom boom boom. Dammit Danii.
You are so right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on it.
Yeah.
That'll be my mission tomorrow.
I know podcast.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Damn it moment.
So, I am embarrassing and I'm also oblivious. Okay.
Okay.
And
relatable.
When you are, for folks just listening at home, I'm a big man. I'm a large gentleman, and I'm a little unorthodox looking. I think have a huge head and whatnot. So, whenever a woman has been interested in me, I never notice. I don't know when someone's flirting with me. I don't know.
So you just don't read people
No.
Okay.
Somehow I am married. A real life person married me. I don't know how. And my wife is like a babe. Don't know how it's happened to me. I don't know.
Don't ask questions.
I have charisma.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a freshman in college up at The Rock, and I was taking so in high school I was taking AP English, honor English classes.
Fancy.
I
Okay.
was taking the dumbed down junior math class. I had to retake math for my junior year while also taking the it's called business math, which, by the way, very useful.
I feel like it would be. It sounds useful.
Yeah, legitimately. I think that they act like business math was lower math. No, business math in high school was useful math. No one uses trick for anything. Yeah, they just don't.
No.
Any hooter. So I was taking essentially an uncredited math course my freshman year. Okay. It was Algebra 1 or something in college.
Okay.
So I needed to do well in this class to get a credited course. I'm a smart guy. So there was a girl in my class. Her name was Beth. It wasn't, but
Beth for the sake of the
her name was
story.
Beth. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Beth was beautiful. She was a beautiful girl, and she's beautiful and blonde and really nice and bubbly and everything. So, and she, we always talked and stuff in class, and she was a nice girl from school. So it's around Thanksgiving break, and it's after class, and I have like an hour before my next one. So I'm just sitting on a bench, and I'm just sitting there just chilling. And I was probably being emo. I was just like on the bench, just like thinking about my thoughts, how no one understands me, and about how like school's like rough, man. And I'm just like, whatever,
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
I thought that I was like a really deep person. So I was sitting there being all like, and she comes up to me and is like, class is pretty hard. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really doing well in it. I'm terrible at math. She's like, yeah, it's rough. But, there was like study groups and stuff. I was like, yeah. She's like, well, people from class could like get together and study, for like finals and stuff. I was like, yeah. I'm just like, yep. Kind of like, sure could. Like, just completely just,
No hints picked up.
And she was like, I mean, people could even just like, you could like hang out with people from class, just like socially, but also study. And I was like, just kind of like, yep. And then, and like telling the story again, I'm always like, how?
Like,
how?
Flashing lights.
How?
Flashing lights.
Like, yeah. And then finally, it gets down to her just going, yeah, I mean, like, people from class could exchange numbers and stuff. And like, I was like, I guess so. And I was kind of, what's this girl's problem? Like, yeah. So finally, this beautiful girl, Beth, just says to me, so do you want my phone number? And me being a graduate of The Rock, okay, look this girl right in the face and go, oh, no, that's okay.
No, you did not.
100%. 100%.
Why?
Because it just like, it did not dawn on me that this girl could ever want my phone number, want me to have her phone number, would everyone hang out with me. It she's just telling me like, I don't think I've ever even had, like, again, like I'm married. I've never even had like, my wife didn't even do that. Like I had to like ask her.
I have questions about this. Yes.
Yeah. And so she just tripped, just asking me, do you want my phone number, you dumb big brown man? Do you want it? Do you want it? And I'm just like, nah.
You're like, nah.
I'm okay.
I'm good.
I'm okay. Because seemingly I had an allergy to booty in college.
You must have.
Did not like it.
Did you, like, how long did it take for you to be like, oh?
Oh, it was one of those things where, like, I legitimately, like, woke up at 1 a.m, like 5 years later, like, oh my God. Are you, what? And then, so hilariously enough, my first real Pittsburgh stories at the arcade, actually the only one that ever sold out. And, my friend Chris, who is he's the captain of the Renegades of the Rotunda. They go to the Pirate Games and all the regalia.
Oh, yes,
okay.
yes.
So my buddy Chris Miller, what up, Chris?
Shout out to Chris.
Did the show, and all pirate gear was amazing. Like, not like baseball, like, pirate gear.
Right.
And his sister Lauren came. I graduated with his sister Jen. All right. And Lauren came to support. And I told that story, and I used the girl's name. I also said where she went to high school. And this girl was like, is this her? And I was like, yep. And it's just her and her very good looking husband and their beautiful baby. Do you know what I mean? And like, yeah.
Man.
That's like, so if when you said like I needed like a Dammit Danii moment, I was like, oh, I got one. I got one for your ass because you're going to love it. And it's just, yeah. So I think it was like,
that's it.
It was something like years later, I really legit woke up like in a cold sweat, like in a movie.
Yeah.
When you, and I was like, why did I do that?
Right, like literally why? Like you're telling me something like,
yeah.
Okay, like she's
yeah.
into you. She wants your number. She wants to hang out. And you're just like, no.
No, I'm okay.
I'm good. Thanks.
I was 18, my hair was barely hanging on. I had like my armpit on my noggin. It was like that. And yeah, man. So that's it. That's my Dammit Danii moment.
That is a damn it moment. So I do have to ask you a quick question before we wrap this up.
Go for it.
So how did you meet your wife?
So my friend Brittany used to play roller derby. Okay. Shout out to Biddy Cent. So my DJ name is Biggie Falls.
Biggie Falls, I saw that.
Reffin' Derby, I was Biggie Calls. Okay.
I love it.
Right. I just married her best friend. So and like when we were all friends for like many years, okay. I was with I had another partner for like 6.5 years. We broke up. I was living in like a sad bachelor apartment Etna for like a year and some change. Myself and Kat started dating. And then I like honestly like it sounds so dumb, but like our first date, I knew that she was the one. First date, I knew it.
How did you know?
I knew because so we were already been friends, so we weren't like nervous in that way. So
right.
So like we didn't go like to go eat somewhere and get like salads because F that dude. So we wouldn't got like burgers and beers at the North Park Lounge, Lawrenceville, which now is closed down. But then afterwards we went to I was like, you want to get like pie and coffee? Because we're adults. And she was like, yeah. So we went to the Eaton Park in Etna, the Eaton Park.
This is a true Pittsburgh love story.
It really is.
Wow.
So we went to the Etna, the one off of Route 8, the Eaton Park, and I'm walking in front of her a little bit. And I was like, let me do an experiment. So I put my hand out, like no look, put my hand out behind me. And when I did that, she like jogged up a little bit and she grabbed my hand and we held hands in the Eaton Park.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. And I was like, ah. And I was like, I kind of was like, I don't even want to have a girlfriend. I just want to be single and like hang out with chicks. And then I met this lady and I was like, I'm so yours. And
that's what happens.
So we celebrated 2 years back in June.
Congratulations.
Then we both got COVID immediately.
Great.
So we got back from Rehoboth Beach, and like a week later, we both woke up like with fevers and stuff.
Romantic.
Very romantic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's great. She's wonderful.
I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah,
I was a little
me
concerned
too.
when you told me that story. I'm like, I wonder how they met.
Yeah, and then so actually the minute I knew I was going to propose and knew I had to take things more seriously was I went through a little bit of time of being underemployed. So I took a job at Adult Empire in Cranberry.
Is this an adult store?
Yes. So I took a job with a big old adult entertainment company doing customer service. And it just was not the job for me. I really like the people there were great. I'm still friends with people that work there. It was a fun job in that way. The people were super, super nice. But the people on the phone were so weird and terrible, and I hated working there. So I was just like, I'm done doing this. So like, so actually my wife's engagement ring was my mom is awesome and plans ahead. So when,
Kimberly.
she's like, okay, I got a little baby boy and he's going to want to propose to someone one day. So my mom bought a diamond ring when I was like 1 year old.
What?
And she held it all this time. And I knew it existed. So when I knew I was going to propose to my wife, I called my mom and said, Mom, I need that ring. And I went, my mom's house and picked it up. And I proposed to my wife actually up at my family's camp, up in like Palmatuning area. And it fit. It fit perfectly. And my wife goes, I can't believe it fit. And I said, well, babe.
It was meant to be.
I was like, it's yours.
This is the sweetest love story.
Yeah. The funny thing is that my wife, though being a total smoke show, is so strange. Like she'll tell like, yeah, I'm me. I'm Dave Stewart. People know that I got a lot going on. But my wife is a hot mess of drunk ferrets. So like,
a drunk ferret.
Yeah, straight up. She'll tell you. So when I proposed and I was like, will you marry me? She was so excited. She didn't say yes. She went, okay. And I was like, babe, yeah. She's like, oh, yeah, sorry, yes.
Okay, I guess.
It was like proposing to Lil Jon. Will you marry me? Okay. No, is it a yes? Yeah. Oh, thank you, honey. Thank you, Lil Jon. Absolutely.
Romantic love story.
Romance.
We love that here. Romance. Dave, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
This was great. I had a great time. Great stories.
Thank you.
Do you want to shout out where people can follow you and your show coming up? Just let everybody know one more time.
Yes. Friday, November 11th at the RK Comedy Theater, located 943 Liberty Avenue, downtown Pittsburgh.
Google it.
Will be the 5th anniversary show for Real Pittsburgh Stories, featuring Maddie Malloy, Suzanne Lawrence, Jason Clark, and the very funny Andreas O'Rourke. You can follow me on TikTok at biggest_Dave. You can follow me on Instagram at biggest_Dave_412. Yeah, that's really about it. And then if you come see me out about somewhere, wave. That's fine.
Just do a light wave.
Just do a little wave.
It's like, hey Dave, how are you today?
I just last little tiny tidbit is I was in Millville a couple years ago, and this like Pittsburgh Yinzer like dad saw me and was like, hey, and I was like, yes. And he goes, hey, my son took me to your show. It was real good. I was like, oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate that. And he goes, before I say the name of the show, he goes, yeah, it's at Pittsburgh talking stories and shit. And,
wow.
And you know what? I was so jazzed. I was like, you got it.
You're like, this just made my entire day. Hell yeah. That is so awesome. You know you made it then.
Absolutely. When people's Pittsburgh dads are like misremembering the name of your show, you got it.
You've made it.
It was great.
It's like having like your name on the sidewalk Hall of Fame, Pittsburgh style, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's about the same thing.
For sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for the gifts.
Thank you for these stickers. I'll put one on my car and one on my laptop.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys next week.
Let's do it.